You're listening to the Alaska Real Estate Podcast, made possible by the Alaska Association of Realtors. I'm Chris Story, your host for great adventures in real estate. Today, you're going to hear from your president, Joni Schneider. Dave Summers will bring you a legislative update. April Frick, well, she's live in Juneau with interviews from Capitol Hill. If it happens to real estate, it matters to you.
Hi, this is Barb Williams with Alaska USA Title Agency. Did you know that we are a full-service title and escrow company servicing the general public? You don't have to be an Alaska USA member to use our services. We work with all lenders nationwide and would love to help you make your buyers and sellers experience a positive one. We have branches in Anchorage, Wasilla, Kenai, Fairbanks, and Juneau. Check out our website at www.alaskausatitle.com for more information. We look forward to doing business with you soon.
Please stand for your president, Joni Schneider.
I was just going to give you an update of what I've been doing since I've last spoken to you. At the end of February, very first part of March, went to Boise, Idaho to the Region 12 conference, and it was just awesome to see all the other state presidents and how we're all doing, and we also had a invigorating speech on how to collect for RPAC and the YPN, which is the Young Professional Network. And all I can say is they kind of look at Alaska as the champions of the major investors that are coming up. And then after that, all of us went to Juneau and did our hill visits to the legislators there. And I know that Dave Summers will give you an update on this, and he does a wonderful job for us. Also, whenever we have somebody that needs to testify and we can't all fly down there, we have Errol Champion, who is Southeast Board President, and Ruth Blackwell. And then, of course, we have Wendy Chamberlain and Denny DeWitt, our honorable lobbyists. And it's like what happens and what works so well is probably about once a week or so we have a teleconference call that we can all chime in on and listen to how things are coming and what our thoughts are, and kind of to catch some of the things that may have slipped by. It was really exciting to talk to the people down there that know us because we're there every year. And they, without us asking, they just tell us what a wonderful job we're doing, how organized we are, that we have our points in place. And so consequently, our things sort of seem to move right along through the mechanics of getting the bill to pass. So, the national call to action, we've been told that there will be a few this year. And, of course, we all know, it's an election year. So if ever you do get one, make sure you hop on it. And I know they're still kind of fighting that mortgage interest deduction. And another thing is that at the end of this year, they're going to, do away with that forgiveness thing, in which, if you don't know what that is, it's like if you do a short sale and it ends after the basically the first of the year in 13, you will be taxed on the shortfall, and that's going to be like income to you. And we're trying to get that where they do away with that because, like these people don't have enough problems if they've lost their home. Now they're going to have to pay taxes on it. And it just seems like whenever there's been misspending and such, as we all know, in D.C., and so they're trying to always come back and take it from the homeowner who, that's what holds America together. That's our knit, it's like that's our dream. And the other thing that I would say then to be watching for, and what's exciting, on May 17th when we go to D.C. for our hill visits there, on the 17th we're having the big rally. There's going to be like 15,000 realtors are going to be on the White House lawn. We have it all arranged and in place, and there's going to be buses picking up people as far away as North Dakota, no less. So it's going to be an awesome thing, and we're all going to be there. And our main focus is just to tell them, do no harm. Quit trying to take away what works for us, because we are the voice of private property rights. And it just seemed like if we weren't there to kind of watch some of that, it would be kind of scary to know what could go on. My whole thing was leadership this year. And just, like we sat around after the thing and just say, we have got such a great group of leaders on our board presently, currently, maybe I'm prejudiced, I don't know, but it just seems like we're all thinking and focused for the same thing.
This cuckoo clock is perfect right here, huh, Jen?
A little lower, Matt, and more to the right.
All right.
I'm just so happy we're in our new home.
And through Alaska Housing Finance Corporation, we got a low interest rate and a loan with no surprises.
Yeah, none of those hidden fees. Attending the home choice class really was a smart idea.
Unlike that clock.
AHFC, opening doors for Alaskans. To sign up for a free home choice class, go to ahfc.us.
And now, your legislative update.
This is Dave Summers. I'm your Industry Issues Chairman for the Alaska Association of Realtors this year. You know, once a year, the Alaska Association of Realtors likes to meet in Juneau for a dual-purpose meeting. One, to meet with all our legislators, try to affect legislation, and also have our board of directors meeting. You know, it was years back. We just couldn't afford to do that. As soon as we got back to Juneau and started meeting there and meeting with our legislators face-to-face, we could see an immediate turnaround in how much effect we had on passing good laws and getting bad laws turned back out. We've been doing it ever since. It was no different this year. We met on the 26th and 27th to go up to the Hill and talk about some of our laws, and I'll give you a breakdown on those. I'll start with House Bill 267, which is a bill that we put together. It's passed out of the House and out of the Senate, and it's just waiting for those little things they do at the end of the year at the legislature where they hold bills hostage with each other. But it's going to go through okay, and there's three main parts of that law. One was allowing the Real Estate Commission to appoint a temporary licensee to oversee a brokerage in cases of extreme cases, like where somebody's been stealing from their own trust account. We noticed here in the last couple of years where the Real Estate Commission had to actually put the person that stole from the trust account, or maybe they considered it borrowing, but whatever the case may be, it wasn't supposed to happen that way. They had to put that person back in charge of that same trust account to close a brokerage out. So we noticed a flaw in the law. This will take care of that. It also clarifies in the law that was passed back in '98 regarding licensed assistants that law has to work just like the rest of the statute states, that any licensed assistants and the licensee they're working for have to be under the same broker's license. And the third item in that bill was allowing licensees to be able to donate a portion of their commission to charities. We fully expect that to get out of both houses this year and get to the governor's desk. So sometime in the next few months we hope to have that signed into law. Another bill we're watching closely by the same representative, Munoz, is House Bill 264. This allows a deferral of municipal property taxes on the increase in value of subdivided property. Anybody that subdivided property knows that you can take $100,000 piece of property, value of $100,000 piece of property, subdivide it, and immediately what they base your taxes on goes to a value of maybe $300,000 or $400,000, and you're stuck with those taxes until those parcels sell. Some areas, especially Juneau, they're trying to get property out and subdivided. They're trying to take that risk away from the developer. So this allows the municipality, if they so choose to take that step, and that's out of the House now. Over in the Senate, I think it's just getting its first hearing in Senate Community and Regional Affairs this week, and that's moving along pretty well. Another bill we watched carefully is Senate Bill 122, and this has to do with private transfer fees. And if you've never seen those before, in the last couple of years we've seen a lot. Most states around the country are outlawing it, but a developer can, when he subdivides property, can just simply put in the deed that every time that property sells in the future, he still gets $100 or $1,000 or whatever to himself or his grandkids or whoever. Now, my grandkids would probably love me years from now if they started getting checks on that stuff. But it's inappropriate. The Alaska Association of Realtors is opposed to it. National Association's opposed to it. This bill outlaws transfer fees, private transfer fees, after initial sale. We're in support of Senate Bill 122 the way it reads now with one amendment. They tried to adopt some national language to smooth things out, and they didn't realize they were putting back in one transfer fee. 10's wrong, 1's wrong, so with that small amendment, we're going to stay in support of the bill. And as soon as it gets its first hearing in the House, which should be this week, over in the House side, we're prepared. We have language ready to have that stripped back out of there. Another bill, Senate Bill 104, regarding manufactured homes. That's a bill that Hollis French has worked on for a couple of years now, and it tries to find a way to draw lines so there's no gray area on when a manufactured home becomes real estate and when it stops being real estate. We're in support of that. And one other bill that came up, we just got on our radar screen about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Senate Bill 157. This is an act that allows an insurer to cancel an insurance policy if the property becomes unoccupied. In other words, this is a midterm cancellation. On the surface, it looks okay. The businesses, an insurance business deserves to be protected if the use has changed and they're at risk, put at higher risk. The Alaska Association of Realtors feels that it puts the public too much at risk. Unoccupied isn't defined well. They tried to define it well in an amendment. It still wasn't good enough for us. We've offered to go back and work on some language with them. I can tell you on the 27th that a few of us went up to the Capitol Hill and testified in Community Regional Affairs and the Senate side against the bill, arguing that the public was at risk. I can tell you that the legislators on hand agreed with us, and they held it over in committee. We don't think it's going to go anywhere right now. There's pressure to keep it moving, so we'll try to work with the insurance industry, find some way to add language if it's really needed, and then get this back on track for them. We're going to ask first, are there really numbers out there that prove that they need to take this step? And if those numbers are there, if they're really taking a beating on some of these unoccupied properties, and then we'll try to work with them to find a way to make it come together for them. And one item that's not bill related that we spent a lot of time on on up on the Hill, as we've been doing daily and weekly since the attempt to increase our license fees, is we're talking to everybody up on the Hill to keep their eyes open during budget hearings, during legislative audit review, to keep the pressure on the Division of Occupational Licensing to revise their accounting standards, adopt a proper model for the allocation of the shared costs so that the Real Estate Commission and licensees aren't paying too high of a share, to get more control in that budgetary process to the executive administrator of the Real Estate Commission, and get the investigative process fixed. It seems a bit broken at this point in time, and if we could, at the minimum, get more control in the commissioner's hand on the investigative process, we'll save a ton of money, save a lot of money for the people of Alaska in general.
This is Colleen Harrington-Bear with Alaska USA Mortgage, talking today about jumbo loans. I can be reached at c.harrington@alaskausamortgage.com or call me 907-261-3416. Jumbo loans, what are they? Why are they scary? How to make it work? Any loan that's over $625,500 in the state of Alaska is considered a jumbo loan. That means the investor is going to require a few more things from you. They're going to want more of a down payment. They're going to want to know that you have more assets to show that you can make the payments if you do indeed want to purchase a jumbo loan. We usually require 25 to 30% down depending on the type of unit that you're buying, whether it's a first home or a second home. We also can do cash out, so if you need to fund your next adventure, we can help you out with that on a jumbo loan. It's very easy. It's a simple process. Give us a call. We can fill out an application, get you an answer back, and we can move forward. Thanks, and have a great day.
Via satellite, live from Juneau, Alaska. Welcome your reporter in the field.
This is April Frick, field reporting for you out here in Juneau, Alaska, which isn't known for its sunshine, but they really rolled out the red carpet for the realtors this time. It has been absolutely beautiful and sunny, which is wonderful because it's a little bit of a walk uphill there to the Capitol, where people have been working really hard, obviously paying attention to our biggest issues this year, and I think you're going to hear a lot of people speak on them, so I'm not going to get into all of them, but some important issues and some really significant progress. And I think what you're gonna hear in the interviews is a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of good news, and a lot of background noise because gosh, it's busy here, and it's really wonderful to see all these RPAC dollars going to work. Really wonderful to see the kind of impact that we have here. So we sure wish that you could have been here with us. It's been fun tracking these folks down and hearing what each of them individually have to say. It's really amazing to think that all of those dollars and cents and the time and the effort that people are putting up in their individual organizations convene here, where we really have a huge impact on our state, where all of our legislators are happy to see us and listening carefully and wanting to know where we stand on the issues. Truly, we have a lot of control and a lot of influence on our industry, and I think that's the overriding message, is another successful trip to Juneau, and a big thank you to every single member out there that makes it happen.
My name is Kevin Cross, owner of Cross & Associates, Keller Williams, and I'm president of the Anchorage Board of Realtors.
Okay. Kevin, how's it been going in Juneau so far?
Magnificent. We had 4 items here that we directly wanted to take up with our senators and representatives, and it's amazing. We have a fantastic presence down here. We got amazing support, and the items that we had were actually very important to private property rights, home ownership, and I'm glad to see that we made this visit. There were several items, including SB 157, which is an act allowing an insurer to cancel an insurance policy if the property becomes unoccupied for a prolonged period of time. Genuine things that are very important to property homeowners, that by us bringing this to their attention, we were able to stop SB 157, at least slow it in its tracks for now. So,
and for those who haven't been to Juneau and don't really understand, I guess, the practical side of what it is that we're doing here, do you want to talk about kind of what our day is like, what we're doing?
Absolutely. We get down here typically on a Monday morning. We meet. We talk about the issues that we have. Now, understand that there may be a multitude of issues, but we pick typically the top 4 to 6 items that we really need to address, because we only have about 15-20 minutes of their time. So first we meet in the morning and we talk about what it is. We form groups and divide up our Hill visits, making sure that an individual from a constituent of that individual's district is meeting with them, or if they're a close personal friend, that individual who's a close personal friend is in the meeting. Then the next 2 days, we spend a majority of the day on the Hill meeting with our representatives, meeting with our senators, and bringing to light the issues. And here's the truth. In any given 90-day period, anywhere from 120 to 140 bills pass through. Do you think they read them all? No. They go to a committee, they get processed, they get chewed up, and what they spit out, they hope and suppose is a good legislation to which they pass. It's through actions such as ours where we're engaged and we show up and we point out, hey, this is a positive and this is a negative of these issues, that we shine a light on bad legislation. And so it's so critical. I can't tell you, when I first got down here, I didn't realize the impact we would have. When I first joined the board and we were making these Hill visits, I wasn't sure how effective our time would be, but one thing has dawned on me in the course of doing this, and this is my third year now, is that it is extremely powerful what we do. It's extremely important. The legislators, God bless them, are working hard, but they only have so many hours in the day to read everything. They really rely upon us to make sure that we bring to light issues that are important.
This is Kathy Westerberg, and I'm with the Ketchmark Board of Realtors.
So, Kathy, you've been down lobbying this year with everybody else up on the Hill. How's it going? How did your Hill visits go?
It was really terrific. We had many, many meetings with many different legislatures, and it's wonderful to see our local government at work, and they're very productive, I would say, very responsive to some of the issues that we're faced with. It's really great to get some face time with these guys.
Is this your first year down?
It is.
I know that the first time I came, it was really surprising, but what's your impression of it?
First thing that comes to mind is it's really wonderful to actually see how our legislatures work on our behalf, how our lobbyists work on our behalf. It's great to interface with other realtors, board presidents, to see what their boards are challenged with and how these issues are impacting us. I think it's just wonderful.
There were quite a few issues that everybody went to talk about today. Which one grabs you?
Well, actually, I thought all of them were important. I think, of course, the realtor fee, which is sort of a non-issue now, the increase in the rates was a pretty compelling one.
Jody Kettler, President-elect of the Valley Board of Realtors.
And Jody, this is your first time down here, right?
It is.
Okay, what do you think?
I think it's great.
What have you been up to? Give us a rundown.
We've been on the Hill talking to our legislators about the issues that affect realtors and our clients.
And how did they respond to you? How did your visit go?
They went very well. They were very responsive, listened, and took lots of time out of their day to communicate with us.
And so as a person who's coming down here for the first time, you've probably been somebody who's been paying into RPAC for many years without necessarily seeing it go to work. What's it like to see those dollars go to work? How do you feel about that investment? Is there anything investor remembers about that?
I think it's a great investment. Everyone should be doing at least the minimum $99, if not more. I'm a major contributor this year for the first time, and it's nice to see my money being spent so well.
Okay, wonderful. Jody, thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Standing here with Denny. Denny, can you introduce yourself and tell us who you're with?
I'm Denny DeWitt, and I work with legislative consultants helping represent the realtors in the legislature.
And can you tell us a little bit about what that entails, what it is that you do for the Alaska Association of Realtors?
Well, we work with the Issues Committee, and they develop the legislative program for the association, and then it's our job to help implement the legislation that they want, to oppose the legislation that they oppose, to help with administrative activity that they highlight as needing help.
And so, as I'm sure you're aware, the Realtor Political Action Fund, the RPAC fund, which most of our members are going to be sitting at home listening to this thinking, I know those guys are constantly harassing me for money. These dollars really go to work here for us. And how do they work? I mean, how do you see that as an investment?
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's an investment. And there's nothing in the world that works any better than constituents and legislators sitting across the desk talking about our mutual futures.
Right.
And so the PAC is one of the ways to help folks who believe in the issues that are of concern to realtors get themselves elected and be down here and be participants when decisions are made.
Of course, we have a handful of realtors, a handful of leadership here. How are they doing this year?
They're doing very well. They've met with most of the legislators down here. We've had a couple of issues that they've been talking about. One is an issue that we raised in our legislation, House Bill 267, and that resolves a problem the Real Estate Commission had, closing down some brokerages. It allows, rather than only a broker, now if there's not a broker available, they can appoint a licensee. And then it allows realtors to designate part of their commission to a nonprofit charity if they wish. And there's another bill that's an insurance company has brought forward that would allow the cancellation of insurance if a home is not occupied. We've got some real problems with that. That's going to be up this afternoon. We're going to have some realtors testifying. And probably that bill is not going to be as healthy as it was before the realtors decided to oppose it.
Thank you, and thanks for talking.
Okay, you're a great group to work with. They're just happier than heck to work with you. It's been great to have you down here, and you're very, very helpful when you come. There's nothing that helps better than having somebody from the home front here reminding folks what the home front wants.
That's it for this edition of the greatest show on earth. Sandy Ehrenman's our executive producer. For all of us at Alaska Real Estate Podcast, I'm Chris Story, wishing you health, wealth, and prosperity.